This is Taekwon 1000 Finest with another video. We have the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists from the best 10 duelists in the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go. Number 10, Joey Wheeler. Joey Wheeler is lucky like crazy. That's one thing. That's one thing that pushes Joey over the edge. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of situations where like maybe he didn't make the smartest plays, but his luck is on. It's ridiculous. Like it just outdoes his opponent's skills and he wins. This guy is like the luckiest duelist ever. And besides that, he gets very, very good as the series goes on. And there's a lot of times that he played duelists that was cheating and he still won. Like Bandit Keith, like Esperoba, like one of the Kaiba Corp executives in the Noah arc. So Joey's just very, very, very good. I thought Joey was going to be number 1 when I made this, or at least number 2, but then I looked into it and did a little bit more research. I thought that Joey beat Yugi, and a lot of people thought this because after Battle City starts, he has his red eyes back. And everybody's like, oh, snap, like, yo, did he beat Yugi? Like, what happened? But I found out that he didn't beat Yugi. He just gave Yugi a great duel, and Yugi was like, you know, you deserve red eyes, take it back. I know that Joey didn't beat Yugi because when little Yugi was going to play big Yugi in the final duel, Kaiba said he wanted to do it, and Joey said something like, I know I could beat his Royu, behind or something if you give me a chance, Yugi. I know I could do it. And just the way that Joey said it in his exact words was words that pretty much meant that he never beat Yugi before, but he knows he could do it if Yugi gave him a chance. So that's how I know that Joey did not beat Yugi. So then we can't rank him higher than Yugi on the list because he didn't beat Yugi. But Joey is still very, very good, and he deserves his number 10 place. Again, Joey didn't take a lot of losses. I believe that the only people to ever beat Joey after Duelist Kingdom started was Yugi, Kaiba, the Exodia, Rare Hunter, but he cheated, and Zigfried. That's it. No other duelists beat Joey, I believe. In Battle City, Yami Marik did beat Joey, but that was only because of the rules of the Shadow game, and it drained Joey's energy. Joey had Gearfried about to attack Marik for game. That's how nice Joey is. It's like, wow, he could have beat Marik, but the Shadow games, and you know, Joey doesn't have a Millennium item of his own, so that was he was kind of cheated of his victory right there. So Joey definitely earns his number 10 place. Number 9. Zigfried. Yo, if you don't know about Zigfried, you're missing a very, very, very good duelist. This guy took out Rex and Weevil in one turn. Just took both of them out. Finished them. This guy was crazy good. And he's one of the few duelists who beat Joey. When Joey fought him, Joey thought he would lose right away. Joey didn't lose right away, but this guy gave Joey a great match, and he just finished Joey at the end. It was one of the few times Joey actually lost. Like, whoa. So, you know, I can't rank him any higher on this list because he did lose to Kaiba. But he did beat Joey, though. So, you know, number 9 is Zigfried. And Zigfried victory is one of those things where, like, you know, it's an upset because he beats one of the main characters. But Zigfried beat Joey with all skill. He did not cheat at all. And that's very impressive that, like, this guy just skill-wise just beat Joey. Wow. One person who Joey luck didn't overwhelm and crush. So with much respect, I give Zigfried number 9. Number 8, Odion. We didn't get to see Odion duel a lot. We only got to see Odion duel one time, and he gave an amazing duel. This guy had Joey, and Joey didn't know what to do. Joey couldn't get past his strategy of traps. And then when Joey finally did, when he summoned Jinzo, Odion had a whole other strategy up his sleeve where he summoned Mystical Beast Circuit and just had Joey the whole duel after that, and was just taking Joey down. Like, that was a crazy duel, and it was the duel got to a point where it was nothing Joey could do to win. Odion had Joey helpless, but Joey was like, I got a feeling you're not gonna beat me, and I got a feeling you're not Marik. And that's when the real Marik was like, uh-oh, yo, you gotta make them think you're me. Play the God card. And Odion didn't want to do it, but Marik kind of made him do it, and Odion played the Winged Dragon of Raw, the fake copy, and it was a thing that he wasn't supposed to, and he got struck by the God cards, and he ended up losing the duel because he got struck down by lightning. So it's like, technically, Odion won. He outdueled Joey, but because he played a fake card that he clearly didn't need to win. Odion was like, yo, Marik, I got a bunch of ways I could beat Joey. I don't need to do that. And Marik was like, no, Odion, do it now. So again, Odion was robbed of his victory of Joey. And, you know, even though Joey technically won, Odion won by skills. If it wasn't for him summoning the Winged Dragon of Raw, like, Odion could have just finished Joey with the Mystical Beast Circuit. and won. So I got to give it to Odion at number 8 because this is by skill. This is not what happened storyline wise. This is about like who had the most skill. So you got to give it up to Odion at number 8. And now Zigfried did beat Joey too, but when I look at the battles, like how badly Zigfried had Joey beat and how badly Odion had Joey beat, Odion played a way better duel and just had Joey beat way more. Like Odion had Joey helpless. When Zigfried played Joey, Joey still had one more chance to turn the duel around with a luck card, but the luck just didn't go Joey's way and he lost. But with Odion, it was nothing Joey could do. Joey had nothing in his hand or nothing. Odion just outbeat Joey. So Odion earns his place at number 8. At number 7, we have Seto Kaiba. Now, I know some people think Seto Kaiba should be higher, but when you look at it, you know, he kind of shouldn't be higher. So after Battle City, he lost to Yugi. Remember, Joey could have beat Marik and it could have been Joey versus Yugi in the finals, but that didn't happen. But what did happen is that Joey was like, Kaiba, we both lost. We should battle for bronze, battle for 3rd place. So Kaiba battles Joey for 3rd place, and Kaiba beats Joey. So you know, he proves he's better than Joey. But you know, that's kind of where Kaiba's skill level is. It's not too far from Joey. And it's a little argument to be made that like Joey just fell into Kaiba's crush card so unfortunately early, so he's kind of at a disadvantage. But that's Joey's duel style, and Joey should have did better than that. I'm not gonna, you know, try to defend Joey on that. It's like, you know, Kaiba clearly won, but Joey still gave up a crazy battle. And it's like, you know, Noah beat Kaiba, but Kaiba kind of would have won that. Noah kind of played tricks with Mokuba and stuff. So Kaiba's very talented and everything like that, but I do think he's number 7, and I don't think he's any higher. Like, to me, Kaiba can't beat any of the duelists that's higher up on the list. So keep that in mind. This is not like I love Kaiba. Kaiba's amazing, but you know, we got to keep this about the skill. So, and I don't really have to say much of Kaiba's accomplishment because y'all know what Kaiba did. Kaiba, he summoned the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yo, Kaiba's amazing. He was one of the 3 legendary duelists. He helped defeat Darts in the final battle of the Sailor Orichalcos arc. He beat Zigfried. He beat his father that had Exodia Necros. Kaiba had some amazing moments in the story, and he definitely deserves his place at number 7. Number 6 is Raphael. Raphael is one of the only 2 duelists to ever beat Yami Yugi in a duel. And you know, I analyzed that duel because I'm like, you know, did he win because he made Yugi use the Sailor Orichalcos? Did he trick him? And that's not what happened. If you look back at the duel, he had Yugi beat. It was nothing Yugi could do. Yugi already played his legendary dragon card and he had Yugi beat. So Yugi used the Sailor Orichalcos to try and beat him, and that just bought him some more time. It didn't let him beat him. Raphael beat Yugi still, even though he had the Sailor Orichalcos. So it's like either way, Raphael had Yugi beat, and that's amazing to show the level of skill that he's on. And keep in mind that when he gave Yugi the option to use the Sailor Orichalcos, he pretty much gave Yugi his power up. That was his power up that he had, you know. So that's even that he beat Yugi at a handicap. Like, yo, take my Sailor Orichalcos. Like, and then he still beat Yugi because he wanted to prove that Yugi had darkness in his heart, and saying that was more important. So that was amazing right there. And then this guy Raphael has a heart of the cards on his own. When you look at his cards, they're all torn and beaten up, and Yugi thought that he didn't take care of his cards, and he's like, no, I had these cards since I was a little, and they got, and I played with them so much, and that was the level this guy was on. And he was like that, you know, these cards are that way because I had it for so long and I played with them so much, and we've been through a lot together, so I'm not gonna replace him for new cards. This guy, he had a spirit behind him, kind of like how Jaden Yugi has the Wing Karibo spirit behind him. This guy was on a different level, like, and he's amazing. So he definitely deserves his place at number 6. And Kaiba was even mad. Kaiba was like, Yugi, you lost your championship title to someone? How could you? Like, yo, because Kaiba wanted to be the only one to beat Yugi. So this guy did something Kaiba couldn't do. He did something a lot of people couldn't do. He beat Yami Yugi, so he definitely deserves his place at number 6. I just can't put him any higher because even though he did beat Yugi, they had a rematch and Yugi beat him in a rematch. But even that rematch was epic like crazy. That was like a all out, that was a crazy rematch. Like, so this guy, you definitely got to give it up for Raphael, ranking in at number 6. Woof, we reached the halfway mark, and number 5 is Pegasus with the Millennium Eye. So Pegasus has a power like none other. He can read his opponent's mind, and that gives him a crazy advantage. Now, when he fought Kaiba in Duelist Kingdom, he toyed with Kaiba the whole time and just finished him. So Pegasus' powers is so great that it made Kaiba invent the duel disc because he wanted to have a way so that Pegasus wouldn't be able to see his card because he thought Pegasus cheated, like he had cameras somewhere or something. So Kaiba wanted to use a hologram to try to give him that edge so he can duel Pegasus fairly. But Kaiba didn't know how the Millennium or how Pegasus powers worked. So even if Kaiba would have used the duel disc, Pegasus reads your mind. So he would have still knew what cards Kaiba had. He still would have like demolished him. So that's how good Pegasus is. And besides that, he's the inventor of Duel Monsters. So he pretty much has access to a lot of the most powerful cards. And he knows a lot about all the cards because he created it. So Pegasus is very, very strong. And that power is so powerful that like he eventually gets nerfed after Yugi beats him in Duelist Kingdom. And, you know, Yugi beat him, but Yugi had to go back and forth between his two spirits that's inside the one body. As nice as Raphael is, Raphael can't do that. He can't go back and forth. So Pegasus would just be able to, like, you know, read his mind and outplay Raphael and do it to a lot of people. So everybody on this list that I said so far, pretty much, like Joey, Zigfried, Odion, Seto, Kaiba, Raphael, I think Pegasus with the Millennium Eye is too much for all of them to handle. So, you know, after Pegasus loses his Millennium Eye, he gets weaker. But this is the Pegasus which was a part of the story. The one with the Millennium Eye, that's the one who gets the number 5 place. So that's Pegasus with the Millennium Eye. Number 4, Yami Bakura. I don't think a lot of people know how good of a duelist Yami Bakura is. When Yami Bakura plays Yugi in a Shadow Duel the first time, he only loses because the good Bakura turns on him and uses Change of Hearts effect on Bakura, so he loses the duel. Other than that, he had Yugi beat. So then, when you go to the second time that he duels Yugi in Battle City, well, like besides that, so he got locator cards to qualify for the finals very quick. That's how good of a duelist he is. Then when he battled Yugi, he had a Yugi on lock and he had him finished. It was just that Yugi summoned Slifer the Sky Dragon, and that card is godly, and Bakura cards had no effect after that on Slifer, so Bakura lost. But without Slifer the Sky Dragon and Yugi's deck, Yugi had no way of beating Yami Bakura. That's how nice he is. And besides that, when Yami Bakura battled Marik, Yami Bakura would have won that too, but he was listening to the good Marik about what to do, and that cost him the duel. And that's when he was like, you know what? Like, I knew I should have did my own thing, and I listened to you. Now the next duel that he has, I believe, or just another duel that he has, is when he plays Little Yugi. That was a crazy duel. Yo, he had Little Yugi beat, but then all of a sudden Little Yugi plays Gandora, and he just like finishes Bakura, or Yami Bakura. So, you know, but that's still like a great duel right there that he gave Yugi. Like this guy's strategies be on a different level. The other thing that he did is that he had a duel with Seto Kaiba, right? And in the duel that he had against Seto Kaiba, if you look at the duel, he was like 1 or 2 turns away from defeating Kaiba, but something happened and he had to go because he wanted to go back into the past with Yugi for that final arc. But he did beat Kaiba's Blue Eyes and used it to have Zork have the powers of Blue Eyes in the past. But if you look back at that duel, Yami Bakura versus Kaiba, you'll see that Kaiba wasn't aware of it because Kaiba's so confident and stuff like that, but he had Kaiba beat. I'm like, wow, like, yo, Kaiba's so lucky he had to go and do things. Because if not, Kaiba would have lost to Yami Bakura. So that's how nice he is that he had Kaiba beat. But he had to leave, so he didn't finish it. But, you know, this guy, the cards he had on the field was ready to destroy Kaiba. So I'm like, wow, like, that's crazy. So, you know, you got to give it up for Yami Bakura. And eventually, he goes on to play Yami Yugi in the Ultimate Shadow game, where it's just those two. But that game wasn't really Duel Monsters. It was more like a classic Duel Monster game, like how they dueled back in the past. So I'm not gonna count a lot of that into his dueling skills because that wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh. That was like a shadow game type of thing, like an ancient Egypt game that they played. But pretty much, he was the last villain of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. He's who Yugi played the last fight, and that's how high his skill was. So when he had Kaiba beat, it doesn't surprise me because this guy was the final villain. This guy was Yugi's true. This guy was part of like the reason why the Shadow Realm got it even made in the first place. I remember when Marik beat him, when he lost in that duel, Marik was like, yo, go into the darkness. And he was like, ha 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 ha, the darkness, I am the darkness. And he faded away laughing because this guy is like so OP. That's Yami Bakura at number 4. At number 3, Yami Yugi, the Pharaoh himself, coming in at number 3. Yami Yugi is one of the best duelists in the whole entire show. You know, the show is called Yu-Gi-Oh! So Yugi overcame the odds in a lot of duels. He was almost defeated, but he had the heart of the cards, or this ancient power as a pharaoh, to draw any card out of his deck that he wanted, which gave him a crazy advantage. Because, you know, during the show, it's like, oh snap, he has that heart of the cards. But then when he plays little Yugi in the final match, you see he's like, I want Big Shield Gardner, I'll draw Big Shield Gardner. I want Dark Magician, I draw the Dark Magician. Like it was on a level we never seen before, that he can just draw any card he wants. So that's how nice he is and how overpowered Yami Yugi is. That's why a lot of these people couldn't beat him. So now he wasn't really aware of who he was or the powers that he had. So he pretty much only used his powers, they call it Destiny Draw, when he was in a really tight spot. Like, heart of the cards, guide me, and he would Destiny Draw for the card he needed. But when he got his memory back and he played little Yugi, the powers was there, and you know, he knew about it. So he was just, every single turn, this guy was Destiny drawing whatever he wanted, and that makes him one of the best duels, because like this guy can get any card out of his deck that he wants to like play any type of combos he wants. So that's Yami Yugi at number 3. We have very deserving at number 3. This guy only lost twice in the series, and that was to Yugi Moto, and then he lost to Raphael. So very worthy of being number 3. Now I know that some of you's gonna be like, what? Yugi, he should be number 1, or he should be number 2 then, because only little Yugi beat him. But we'll get into that. So Yami Yugi at number 3. At number 2, we have Yugi Moto. Yugi Moto is the person who defeated Yami Yugi at the last episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! They had the last final duel, and he took on everything Yugi had. He took on the 3 God cards. He took on Yugi's Dark Magician and his Dark Magician girl. It's just like everything. They had a final duel, and Yugi used his own deck with his own strategies. And like he was like, he believed in himself. He's like, you know what? I can do this, y'all. I can beat him. I know him the best. And he beats Yugi, and that's like, wow. Like, this guy all along. So of course, not when the show first started, he wasn't this good at all. But you know, after seeing Yami Yugi duel so much and, you know, learning from there, this guy turns out to be one of the best duelists that there is, because he beat Yugi, the one who beat everybody else. So Yami Yugi, I have to put him above, well, I have to put little Yugi above Yami Yugi, because he's the one who beats him in the end. He's the real king of games. And Kaiba says that. He goes, let's see who's the real king of games. And he finally seen it was 2 Yugis. And, you know, little Yugi beat Yami Yugi. So little Yugi is at number 2 because he beat Yami Yugi, the one of the best duelists that there is besides little Yugi. So if little Yugi is number 2 and Yami Yugi is number 3, who's number 1? Now I hope y'all understand me why I have little Yugi at number 2, because he beats Yami Yugi. And you know, I looked at it, you know, it was nothing Yugi can do. Now it could kind of be argued that, you know, maybe it was stuff big Yugi can do, but part of his challenge was to accept losing. So it's like, you know, come on, little Yugi beat the gods. He beat your Dark Magician. He what else could you do, Yugi? So, you know, maybe Yami Yugi could have like cheesed and pulled out like some card we never seen before and beat little Yugi with it, but that would just be cheating at that point. So, you know, it's like Yugi was like, you know what, look, if I have anything, look, you beat the gods, you beat my Dark Magician, you know what, you got it, Yugi, you deserve to win. And so little Yugi beat Yami Yugi run, but he didn't let nobody else beat him, so little Yugi beat him. So to me, little Yugi rightfully deserves his number 2 place. Now, number 1 is Darts. Darts is an amazing duelist. Like, this guy's right-hand man was capable of beating Yami Yugi. So that's how nice this guy is that, you know, his right-hand man beat Yami Yugi. The other guy besides little Yugi to beat Yami Yugi, Raphael. Now, Darts was on a whole nother level. When we see Darts duel, this guy was nice enough to battle Seto Kaiba and Yugi Moto at a handicap. He battled both of them at the same time and gave him a crazy duel. Like, his cards was too overpowered. He had the Silver Orichalcos, then he had layers of Silver Orichalcos. This guy was just too nice, and that was amazing. The way, like, he dueled 2 of the best duelists at the same time at a handicap. Now, of course, in the end, he eventually loses to them, but he barely lost to them. Like, this guy fought both of them at a handicap, and he even managed to take one of them down. He took Kaiba down. He took Kaiba out. And this took some of the best strategies that Yugi and Kaiba had to even stand a chance against this guy. So, and eventually Kaiba falls to the point that it's just Yugi and darts. And they still go at it, and it's crazy. And, you know, Yugi eventually wins and beats darts, but that was a very hard duel. And it was so much that, to me, like, Kaiba gave it everything he got. Yugi gave everything he got. They gave everything they got together because they fused their monsters, and then Kaiba still ends up losing. So it's like, you know, to me, if Kaiba was to play darts on his own, Kaiba loses. If Yugi plays darts on his own, Yugi loses, because like Kaiba contributed heavily to Yugi's success in that duel. So, you know, I don't think Yugi by himself would have had what it took to beat darts on his own. And then he even was able to summon one of Joey cards that, you know, Joey's Mythical Dragon to help too. So it's like, you know, Yugi really needed Kaiba's help on that duel, and without both of them together. And so look at my list, you know, we have Yugi, who's number 3, going up with the person I have ranked number 7 going up against this guy, and they win. But it took both of them to do it. And, you know, some people put Yugi number 1, and they put Kaiba number 2. And so this is like the best 2 people fighting this guy, and this guy almost beats them both. So to me, darts is just that overpowered. This guy was the major arc villain of the Sailor Orichalcos arc, and, you know, it took both of them to beat him. I'm pretty sure if just one of them could have beat him, just one of them would have played him. So this guy, Darts, is unbelievable, and to me, he's the best duelist of the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, number 1, Darts. Go back and check out that match, Darts versus Yugi and Kaiba, and you'll see what I'm saying. But, like, at a handicap, this guy was, like, destroying him. He had the Orichalcos Gigas, and it was just, like, wrecking Yugi and Kaiba. So, to me, you know, yeah, he loses, but that's because it was 2 people versus 1. And 2 of the best people. 2 of the main characters too. So, number 1, Darts. I'll give an honorable mention because that wasn't in my last video. Some people asked for that. So, my honorable mention will be Mai. Mai is another duelist who, like, if she had the chant, she would have summoned Raw, knew the chant, and she would have destroyed Marik, who was a major arc villain. But, you know, Mai didn't know the chant, so she ended up losing to Marik. So that's my honorable mention. And now Marik, look, I know y'all like, yo, why is Odion on the list but Marik is not? Yo, Marik, I feel like, you know, I feel 2 ways about Marik. I feel like either he's trash because too many people beat him. Mai could have beat him, Joey could have beat him, Yugi beats him, Bokora could have beat him. So I feel like, you know, he's trash, or that, like, he's not trash and he just loved toying with his opponent so much. Like, he toyed with his opponent so much that they get the chance to beat him. So I'm pretty sure that when he had strings, he could have beat Yugi probably, but he toyed around with that so much that he probably wasn't able to beat Yugi. He toyed around with Mai so much that he gave Mai a chance to beat him, and then Mai didn't do it. But did he toy around with Joey? I don't really know, but, you know, Marik's skill level was iffy, so he's definitely not on my list. You know, like, I didn't see it. So this is Taekwondo 1000 Finest with the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Check out the video, you know, share it with your friends, like the video, leave your comments. You know, I appreciate the support I got on my first video, the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. So, you know, do you agree with my list? Do you don't agree with my list? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate everybody checking out the video. Peace.